lesson, we'll be doing elimination to solve a system of the equation, but we'll have to add multiplication in there. So in our elimination method, we use standard form, and we either add or subtract one of the variables. So when they have the same coefficient, easy, we know what to do. It's when they don't have the same coefficient that makes it a lot harder. So that's when we have to find our least common multiple for those coefficients. So we multiply one or both equations by the same number, and we have to multiply all the way across. This is kind of like finding a common denominator. So the steps for using the elimination method is first multiply to get our common coefficient, because we have to have the coefficients the same in order to add and subtract. Then we add or subtract, then we plug it back into either of the original equations and solve for the other variable. So some examples. This first one says solve using the systems of equation using elimination. So we can see here that neither the x or the y have the same coefficient. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 3. So that would change to 3x minus 3y is equal to 12. Now I have these coefficients that are the same number but opposite signs. So that gets me negative 2x equals 18, so x equals negative 9. Now I need to substitute back into either equation, so negative 9 minus y equals 4. Add 9 to both sides. I get negative y equals 13, so y is equal to negative 13. So I have x is negative 8 and y is negative 13, so I use the other equation to check. So negative 5 times negative 9 plus 3 times negative 13 equals 6. So 45 minus 39 equals 6. 6 equals 6. So my solution is negative 9, negative 13. In this one, again, we have none of the coefficients are the same. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 4. And that would get me 8x minus 4y equals 24. And then my other equation is 3x plus 4y equals negative 2. Here I have the same coefficient with opposite signs. So 11x equals 22, so x is equal to 2. I'm going to substitute 3 times 2 plus 4y equals negative 2. So 6 plus 4y equals negative 2. Subtract 6 from both sides. 4y equals negative 8, so y is equal to negative 2. Now I'm going to plug it back in to check. So 2 times 2 minus a negative 2 equals 6. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 equals 6. So my solution is 2, negative 2. And the third one, it doesn't look like I have either one of them that are the same, so none of the coefficients. So this time, looking at 6 and 4, if I think about that as like 1/4 and 1/6 plus 1/6, I would have to have a common denominator, and so I would probably use the common denominator 12. So that's exactly what I want to do with this one. So I'm going to multiply the top group by 3 and the bottom by negative 2. So if I do the top equation by 3, that would be 12x plus 21y equals 18. And the bottom equation would be negative 12x minus 10y equals negative 40. Now I can add them together because these have the same coefficient but opposite signs. So that gets me 11y equals negative 22, so y is equal to negative 2. Substitute back in 4x plus 7 times negative 2 equals 6. So 4x minus 14 equals 6. Add 14 to both sides. I get 4x equals 20, so x equals 5. So now I have my x and y. I'll use the other equation to check. So 6 times 5 plus 5 times negative 2 should equal 20. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 equals 20. 20 equals 20. Check. So my solution is 5, negative 2. At Starbucks, 3 coffees and 2 muffins cost a total of $7, and 2 coffees and 4 muffins cost $8. What's the individual price for a single coffee and a single muffin? So I'm going to go ahead and say C is for coffee, and M is for muffin. So one equation, I'm going to write them down here. 3 coffees plus 2 muffins equals $7, and 2 coffees plus 4 muffins equals $8. So I don't have any coefficient that's the same. So I'm going to multiply this whole top one by negative 2 so I can get the m the same. So it would be negative 6c minus 4m equals negative 14. And then I'm going to put together with 2c plus 4m equals 8. And that gets me these with the same coefficient but opposite signs. So negative 4c equals negative 6. So c is equal to 6/4, or, since it's money, $1.50. We'll substitute in to the original equation. 3 times 1.5 plus 2m equals 7. So 4.5 plus 2m equals 7. Subtract 4.5 from both sides. I get 2m equals 2.5. So m is 1.25, since it's money. Let's check and make sure. 2 times 1.5 plus 4 times 1.25 is equal to 8. So 3 plus 5 equals 8. So 8 equals 8. It's a word problem, so coffee is $1.50 and muffins are $1.25. Still is. Jane invests $9,885 into a savings account that earns 6% interest, and a money market earns 9.5%. After 1 year, the interest is $695.35. There's our 2 equations. X plus y equals 9,885. 0.06x plus 0.095y equals 696.35. Ralph invests $15,600 into a savings account that earns 8% and checking that earns 9%. Total interest was $1,334.28. Our 2 equations are x plus y equals 15,006 and 0.08x plus 0.09y equals 1,334. Wrapping paper is sold in printed and solid paper. Printed is $6 a roll and solid is $4. Fundraiser sold 480 rolls and made 2,340. Our 2 equations are 6x plus 4y equals 2,340 and x plus y equals 480. Tanya has 3 more dollars than her friend Cindy. Together they have 7. Our 2 equations are x plus y equals 7 and x equals y plus 3. What form of equation is needed for the elimination method? That has to be standard form. The elimination method adds or subtracts which variable? Either one.